Hello everybody, my name is Francesco and I am game director on Just Cause 4. Oh my god, the key passage of my presentation. Truth is that we have been shown a lot. We really gave a treat to our viewers this time. So we started with an overview of Solis. This is the new world where Just Cause 4 is set. And I guess that by now all of our audience has quite a better idea of the actual scope, scale and variety within the world itself. We gave glimpses of the grasslands, of the desert. We even float close to a sandstorm. We saw the Alpine, alas if just from a distance, and we ended up into the rainforest. Then what we did, we shown supply drops. You know, that's a staple of the franchise, the ability of dropping at a moment notice anything that you may need. So there too, people realize that both in terms of scale and variety, we are really you know, going deeper and bigger than we've ever done. And we stress the concept of quality over quantity, as in, yes, there are a lot of vehicles, like 25% more than in Just Cause 3, but an important point is that almost each one of them has a sort of secret ability or some quirk, like some vehicle is rigged, so that when it explodes, creates a bigger explosion than a normal vehicle, right? And so on. I think it was a kind of underlining theme on the presentation, how many little things are there to discover within the game. Little things that become big and meaningful the moment that you want to spend some time with them. For example, we've shown how you can rig a food truck to make a little rocket or a transporter out of it, right? And how we were doing that? We were doing that in the context of the grappling hook. So again, we did demo the attachments and some of the new mods. I got Brian was driving the press. He created a cloud of red barrels, tethering them to the airlifter, literally raining explosions afterwards, right? And then we went funky. We created a flying tank. And since the turret of the tank is independent from its body, you can actually steer it while you are flying with it. And it was quite a nice sight. That's always the point in the press where, you know, I just get lost watching Brian that is playing. But from there, we couldn't get lost. We had to get to the real meat of the press, which was a demonstration of a new extreme weather event. So we did demo the Tornado at E3. And with Gamescom, we are showing off lining with a particular emphasis on the sandbox aspect. So what I've been explaining is that how for each extreme weather event, we want three things. We want for them to really be game changers. So the folks have seen how the same place looks, feels, and plays completely different under the sun or under the spell of a lightning storm. How we want for them to feel challenging, and at the same time, how we want for them to be something the players can use to the sake of the sandbox itself. How do we achieve this? With lining, with a very simple rule. The lining always hit either the highest vehicle or combatant on screen. Meaning, if you are Rico and you're flying around, you're probably the highest things on screen, so there is quite a nice chance that you get hit. And we are going to tell you, hey, you're about to get hit. So at that point, either you outsmart the lining, you outmaneuver the lining, sorry, or you try to game it, like you go under a roof, or you throw something up in the air to a higher point than you. And yeah, that was basically it, and we had a lot of fun, yeah. So the wing cannon is the big one, and you use it to keep a tornado by. And then we've got wing guns, okay, that just interact with physics and blow away anything they are aimed at. And I mention them because it's one of the weapons that we've actually showcased during this presentation at Gamescom. Going to the lining, what you got there, you got lining rods in some of the structures around the world, and when you rise on lining rods, the lining rod is going to attract lining, so changing a little bit the dynamic of the thing. Yes and no. No, because at the end of the day, the power and what defines our sandbox is that it's entirely physics-based. So as long as you are coherent within the realm of the physics that we create for the game, systems are going to work well with each other. It becomes more of a technical challenge at that point to make sure that the engine can properly sustain everything that is going on screen and the different systems that are working all together. For example, I was mentioning this also last time, wind, it's a complete new physical system that we have added with Just Cause 4. That means a couple of things. It's not just now there is wind into the world, we can go up to destructive winds, the tornado and other events. It also means that now each and every object into the world needs to have proper aerodynamics, right? Because otherwise you lose the coherency, you lose trust of players because things don't behave anymore as they would expect that. And you don't need to be a theoretical physics to understand whether something doesn't look right in physical terms. That's the power of physics. It's natural. I don't need to explain gravity. Everybody knows that if you lift something, it falls down. And I assure you, your brain has unconscious assumptions on how things would behave under wind, for example, and you want to satisfy them because otherwise things look strange. The difficulty has been in making sure that a player can have fun and progress smoothly throughout the whole game, regardless of the loadout that he has assembled on his grappling hook. So within this thing, you can customize your grappling hook. So we as creators, we never know what your loadout is. Do you have boosters or airlifter equipped in this moment, right? Do you have this mode on the other mode? It doesn't matter what, any object should interact meaningfully with your grappling hook and their attachment, regardless of what they are. And similarly, every piece of content should not be gated by a specific loadout. I don't want players to get somewhere, things do not work, feeling that they have a subpar loadout, force them to go into the UI. No, so it's that was the hard part. No, frankly no. Each weather, each extreme weather, it's bound to a biome, and this is for various reasons. Creatively speaking, if you want, it's mostly for the sake of variety and give a strong identity to each one of the event and to each one of the biomes. Oh, we've seen some during the demo. What I can tell you about, we were preparing the press on Sunday, and just for the sake of it, because we hadn't done it yet, we start calculating how many combinations actually are there, and we're a bit surprised, but apparently we are in the orders of millions. More than 4 million, to be sure, to be precise. So yeah, that was quite a reveal, and if it means something, what it means is that after 4 or 5 hours of playing, there won't be 2 players who are actually working with the same combination. That's quite nice.